If you're really on the fence about getting an Xbox One S, there's just really a few things you have to consider. First of all, you have to consider whether or not you have a powerful enough computer. The Xbox One S is basically going to be a really cheap gaming PC, and in a slight sense, but not all the way. The reason I say that is because even if you have a powerful gaming PC, if it's at least a 1070, you're not gonna get any benefit from it. But if you do not have that, and you have at least like a maybe a 1050 Ti at the moment or 1050, there's really, unless you really want to play games at 4K and you have a 4K TV, there's there's slight benefits to owning the Xbox One S. One of them being faster, better frame rates in some games. So you also have to consider that concept. But if you have a 1050 Ti PC, it becomes a little bit more iffy on whether or not you should buy this because, simply put, you can mostly play all your games that you want to play. And if you're only interested in playing those games, you might not even need this. However, if you do not own that PC and you want especially like Xbox exclusives that don't show up on PC, which I don't think there are any at the moment, I may be wrong, but the thing is, if that's what you're interested in, then yes, an Xbox One X would be an awesome thing. The other thing you have to consider is whether or not you even have an Xbox. If you own an Xbox or even a PlayStation 4 console, like owning an Xbox One X becomes a little bit more useless. The benefit is there, you might not notice it. That's the other thing you have to consider in the end, whether or not you actually notice the differences. If you notice the differences and you really are nitpicky about it and you really care about it a whole lot, if you really do, then the Xbox One X is for you. Now, the people I recommend the Xbox One X for specifically are going to be people that have all the latest technology, they have a great PC, they're into gaming, and they don't necessarily own a powerful PC. And they're really just interested in playing console games. If you're really interested in console games, the Xbox One X was made for you. It's like the perfect console overall. Like especially if you like Xbox. That's one thing you have to consider whether or not you like Xbox. I do like Xbox actually. I do like Microsoft's way of handling certain issues, especially when they took responsibility for what the Xbox 360 failure rate was. They actually decided to change the system, even though it wasn't perfect. And they probably should have gone out of their way to make sure that wasn't a problem to start off with. It's at least they did something about it. When I had a PlayStation 2, some of the first PlayStation 2s that came out, I'm talking about the actual launch consoles, a lot of them were like failed. Sony didn't do anything about it. Once the 3 months was up on your warranty, if it didn't fail within that time period, which it basically didn't, Sony wanted you to pay to have it fixed, and that really sucked. I was so happy when Microsoft actually didn't do the same thing, because basically that's what I was expecting from them, and they didn't do that. They won points with me that time, and since then I'm kind of a little bit more respectful of what Microsoft does with their, especially with their Xbox console. However, I never liked that. I never liked that Netflix or all their online stuff was behind a paywall. You really couldn't use Netflix freely. I'm not sure because I don't use a PlayStation 4. I haven't used one in the U.S. While I had Netflix, so I'm not sure if it still happens where if you use your PlayStation 4 now, you need to pay before you can use Netflix. I don't think so. I don't think that's ever been the case. I think some apps that are free you can still use, but I'm not sure on that. Like I would have to get back to you on that. If it has changed and if you have a PlayStation 4, then it's probably an option. But if you don't even have one of the latest consoles and you're considering between the Xbox One X at this period or the PlayStation 4 Pro, it's really up to you what games you like. You have to look up the library. I would say go with the PlayStation, but nowadays even the Xbox One X is really compelling because of the graphical leap. Like it's really worth it if you haven't bought a next gen console at the moment, or if you don't have a gaming PC. You have, let's say you have nothing. I'm really tempted to buy the Xbox One X to be honest. Like I really want one, but I can't get my hands on one. I'm in Japan. Like it's just gonna be a hectic thing to get. Um, but yeah, if you can actually get one, I would totally get that, especially if you don't own any of the other consoles. But again, if you meet any of those criteria where you already have, like, even if you have a PlayStation 4 Pro or even a regular PlayStation 4, it's going to be really hard to recommend it, but it's not necessarily undoable. If you don't even own an Xbox, then yeah, maybe it is good for you, especially if you don't own a gaming PC. Like I would, and you want to play some Xbox games, or if you want to play the third-party games that just look better, I recommend getting the Xbox One X. It's definitely a benefit, but that again, you would have to determine yourself. But it looks really promising. Like I can't say much like many bad things about this console. It has everything that I would like the console to have, especially if released nowadays. The only thing that like I've said in previous videos before, the only thing I hope is that this console doesn't get replaced immediately. Like I hope at least you get 18 months out of it, and there's not like an Xbox 2 or something coming out and makes this obsolete completely, and you can't even play games on it anymore that come out. You have to like you only have old games or some like last console games that come out for the console that kind of suck. If that's the case and that happens within a year, then it sucks. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think we're gonna see a PlayStation 5 or even an Xbox 2 or whatever it's called at this point for at least 2 more years. I think you might hear something in 2018 about it at the earliest, but I don't think you'll see anything until 2019 and possibly 2020. It seems like with the release of the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X, the idea is to have this like new game consoles come out at the earliest like 2020. And I think there's a reason why choosing 2020 was a good date, just because it sounds more futuristic, but also because of how games are going to change drastically. That's the one thing you have to realize. Games, I think, next year will have a basically the next generation leap already in graphics on PC at least. You won't necessarily notice that on your console. So I don't know if we can wait another 3 years per se to get those games on console. So that may push it earlier to around 2019 at the earliest, possibly even 2018. But I just doubt that because that's basically around the corner, and we have heard nothing about it. It's possible again, but I doubt it. Especially with Nintendo coming out with their Switch, I think they would have known already, and the idea behind that and how that's selling pretty well. Like console games may be stuck in graphically at least in this generation for a while, and I think it's going to be until at least 2020 when we see something different. But if you really are interested in a leap in graphics right now, the Xbox One X is basically for you. If you can afford it, I mean, it. If I was choosing between a gaming PC though and an Xbox One X, I would have to think what I prefer. If I prefer higher graphics and at a cheaper price, and take into the consideration that some games are going to be more expensive than if I were to buy them on PC or something, and I'm okay with that, then I highly recommend the Xbox One X. But otherwise, if you can afford it and you want to use your PC for other things like content creation and stuff, you may want to choose a PC instead. But I don't see anything wrong with the Xbox One X at the moment. I would, if I had that choice to make right now between getting a gaming PC in 2017 or an Xbox One X, I'd probably go with the Xbox One X. And the reason being is because in late 2017, PCs are just ridiculously expensive, especially for like gaming PCs. I mean, because like buying a graphics card and everything, it's like inflated prices. You're not getting what you're paying for, basically. So it's not worth it. I would definitely go with the Xbox One X, and then later on in like a year, upgrade my to a PC. A year or a year and a half, whatever. Wait until Ice Lake basically comes out. Once Ice Lake comes out and Ryzen 2's out there and everything, then it's a good time to possibly upgrade. Anyways, that's all I gotta say, guys. I'm signing out. Have a good day. Bye.